The camera loves JLo, but she does not seem to love the camera. Here are the top 10 times Jennifer Lopez was caught being rude on camera. JLo is being slammed online for her behavior in an interview on the Met Gala steps. JLo was a co-chair for the 2024 Met Gala and wore an eye-catching beaded Schiaparelli gown to the charity event. She was seen smiling and posing on the carpet, but not everyone received that megawatt smile. TikToker Annika Reed was present at the Met as an interviewer on the side. She was up close and personal with the stars and got some great shots of the celebs as they ascended the carpet. She was also close enough to ask celebs questions as they were heading up. And it seems not everyone was happy about that. As JLo was making her way past Reed shouted, "Who are you wearing tonight?" Pretty standard red carpet question, but JLo appeared less than impressed. With only a glance over, JLo responds with a quick Schiaparelli before continuing up. When Reed posted the video to her TikTok, the caption suggests she didn't mind JLo's response, but the comment section sure did. Many people calling JLo out for being rude. One person saying Reed receiving a rude JLo interaction was the JLo experience. Another person writing, "Ew, why she have that attitude?" In comparison to other celebs who met Reed's questions with big smiles and the occasional full-length interview, JLo's reaction does make her appear as the outlier. The Met Gala isn't the first major event where JLo was criticized for her actions on the carpet. Glam bots have increased in popularity over the years for good reason. They are the perfect way to showcase a celeb's look and almost always make people look amazing. A glam bot of JLo was posted for her birthday in 2022, but the video did not garner the response the poster probably hoped for. In the video, we can see Cole, the person who runs the glam bot, explaining to Jennifer as she walks up what is going to happen with the camera, just how it all works basically. Jennifer appears to be uninterested in what he's saying or distracted from other people talking about red carpets. We know that they are pretty fast paced, kind of like go go go, so maybe JLo really had somewhere to be or there was a big lineup so she was trying to keep a schedule. We never will know. The ending of the video does not paint her in the best light. As part of her glam bot, the singer's movements involved taking a step to the side, and then that step turned into her walking off. It's not shown if she said goodbye to Cole or anyone else working on the glam bots, but it doesn't appear that way. So naturally, people are pretty upset about it and leaving their thoughts in the comment section. One person writing, "She doesn't look very friendly." Another commenting, "Not her," immediately walking away. Cole did film a glam bot behind the scenes for this particular video, where he explained the situation, saying they had very limited time, about 30 seconds, and he wasn't expecting to see JLo, so it was an in and out kind of situation. Back in October of 2023, JLo was photographed throwing up a rude gesture to paparazzi. The singer was photographed out with her husband Ben Affleck in the morning, and she was not very happy about it. Like many people online said though, can you blame her? She just wanted to head out for a quick breakfast with her husband and was instead hounded by cameras. Expressing her frustration, JLo threw up her middle finger at the paparazzi with a tight-lipped half smile. The photo went viral online and the response was half and half. Some people said she was being rude and the behavior was unacceptable. Others were more forgiving towards the star, bringing up that even Hollywood stars deserve privacy and are real people too. It's unclear if JLo was prompted to do the action just because of the situation or if something happened or was said to cause it. Jennifer Lopez attended the Grammys with new husband Ben Affleck in 2023, and the two were caught on camera looking less than pleased with each other. The X account Chicks in the Office posted a video of the couple with the caption, "Someone please check on Ben Affleck." The video posted was about 30 seconds and it features host Trevor Noah sitting beside the couple. Since he was seated directly next to them and talking, the couple either didn't realize the camera was on them or the moment was a very believable bit. In the clip, you can see JLo speaking to Affleck in what looks like it could be a stern tone. As the camera gets closer, JLo lightly hits Affleck's chest before giving him a displeased look and turning away looking frustrated. Affleck also is looking a bit disgruntled for the remainder of the video. Once Jennifer does turn around and realize where the camera is, she starts laughing and smiling again. Ben offers a little half smile, but mainly keeps a straight face. Interesting video of JLo seemingly flirting has made the rounds on social media. The video is weird, I don't know how else to put it. It's a heavily slowed down shot of JLo making a funny face towards someone behind her. The camera pans to someone who looks like a DJ. There are over 25,000 comments on the video and lots of them are saying JLo is flirting with the person. One person writing, "So disrespectful, poor Ben." The video was posted in May of last year and people are also up in arms about this video since JLo is standing directly beside her future husband husband Ben Affleck. Other angles of the moment show JLo jamming out to the music. Even Ben offered a little shuffle, and that's when JLo looked the DJ's way. The clip is from the premiere of JLo's 2023 movie, The Mother. JLo went viral when on-set footage resurfaced of her spitting gum into an assistant's hand. The video was taken about 6 years ago now, and yet it still causes a stir every once in a while. Reposted all across the internet, the 20-second video shows JLo, presumably on the set of a TV or film. I'm guessing that the cameras are about to roll, but JLo is chewing gum, the method of choice chosen to get rid of that gum, and the situation appears to be spitting it directly in someone's hand. After the video went viral, again, people started pointing out that they are on a street and a major movie set. A trash can has to be nearby, or at least a tissue. Some people have commented on the clip when it was posted to a TikTok page, pointing out that JLo has a purse in her hand. Were there no tissues in there? People are just generally upset and mildly disgusted by the action. One person commenting, "I have never been in a situation where I felt the need to spit anything into someone's hand. I would swallow the gum before I would do something so disgusting." Those arguing in favor of JLo have brought up that the behavior is common on film sets, but the biggest player coming to JLo's defense in the situation is actually the assistant in the video. She took to her ex social media account to set the record straight. She clarified that there was a tissue in her hand, and she requested that JLo spit the gum in her hand. She also said that there were large crowds present and it was winter and they were waiting for a light to change so that they could film, so there were a lot of factors that made the situation one where they had to move quickly. The assistant noted that spitting the gum in her hand was the most efficient solution at the time. Much to the displeasure of the star, the paparazzi can't seem to get enough of JLo. A video of Jennifer interacting with paparazzi was posted to TikTok in November of 2023, and like most of the other ones, she is not happy to be there. At the start of this video, we can hear the pop in question congratulate her and Ben. From that, and when this video was posted, I'm assuming the congratulations were about the pair's wedding a few months prior. Though the pop is trying to speak positively, JLo is still quite upset being followed around. As she is getting into her car, we can hear JLo say something along the lines of, "Nobody likes leaving their house and having you guys follow them every single day," finishing off her statement with a final, "Nobody likes that," as she continues getting in her car. The paparazzi filming can be heard saying, "I understand, Jennifer, I get you," as they continue to get closer to the star. Other footage released of the encounter shows an annoyed-looking JLo and Ben. The spotlight was stolen by a couple's argument at the premiere of JLo's 2023 movie, The Mother. JLo and her future husband Ben Affleck were photographed and filmed on the red carpet, and they did not seem overjoyed to be there. The pair appeared to be arguing with each other on the carpet. It's unclear what about. It could be something serious or something simple, like where they're going to stand next. They were pointing somewhere in the distance, so maybe they were debating whether or not to go inside. Regardless, the two look like they are exchanging heated words in front of the camera. The clip ends with Affleck moving off screen, likely giving JLo her moment with the cameras, as it was her movie after all. This clip is from the same premiere that the flirting clip was from. Paparazzi caught JLo after she was locked out of her gym, and the star was not happy about it, directing the F-bomb their way before she left in her car. In a clip posted to Daily Mail's TikTok, the Jenny from the Block singer can be seen running to her upscale gym's front door in bright neon yellow workout clothes. Only when she gets there, she is left waiting outside, the door is locked, and no one is coming to answer. I mean, this would be frustrating for anyone, but the star also has all the cameras watching her to deal with. Naturally, she grows aggravated and gives up the wait, getting back into her car. The pops get a bit closer to the star as she's trying to enter the car. You can hear the star tell them to go away. JLo leaves the pops with an "F you, bye." The video ends before we can see her car drive off. A clip from JLo's new documentary of the singer talking about award-winning dancer and choreographer Derek Huff went viral online because it appears that JLo is trying to move his wedding plans around to accommodate her movie. That sounds really bad, but that is absolutely what it looks like from the short clip. JLo is seen talking with people on her team. It looks like she is looking for someone to either choreograph or be in the movie, and she wants a good dancer. Professional dancer and Dancing with the Stars performer Val is brought up as a choice, but JLo isn't feeling it. She very clearly wants Derek. She says, "I mean, I know Val was available, but I want you to call Derek." She then goes on to say that she only needs him for 1 or 2 days. But as a member of her team quickly points out, he was busy because he was in a wedding. It was revealed by Derek at the premiere that it wasn't just any wedding, it was his wedding. Well, he revealed he received a call from JLo in the middle of planning his wedding, so people connected the dots from there. In the clip that went viral, JLo is unyielding and insists that Derek be called anyway. After the movie came out, Derek joined E! News for an interview where he clarified that JLo did not make him change his schedule, she flipped her schedule around for him. He also went on to say that JLo provided guidance and help while he was planning his wedding.
Jennifer Lopez is known as a Hollywood triple threat that can act, sing, and dance. This has made her a true superstar in the entertainment business. But all those accolades have clearly gone to JLo's head, and other celebrities have had to warn us about her diva attitude in the past. First up, of course, we have Mariah Carey. Even if you're not familiar with many of JLo's feuds, I'm sure you know that Mariah Carey hates her. That's because Mariah has not been shy about throwing shade in her direction. These two have been feuding ever since JLo started to make music, and started to steal her shine. Then when Mariah was asked about Lopez in an interview, she famously replied, quote, "I don't know her." Years later, when Andy Cohen brought up the beef on his show Watch What Happens Live in 2014, Jennifer Lopez played the whole thing off, saying, quote, "I don't have a feud against her at all. I know from back in the day, I've read things that she said about me that were not the greatest, but we have never met. Like, we don't know each other. I would love to meet her, and I would love to be friends with her." But then JLo was a little more savage on the Wendy Williams show when asked about the feud in 2016. Lopez said, quote, "She's forgetful, I guess, we've met so many times." But Carey doubled down in another interview where she added that she still doesn't know Jennifer Lopez. When Mariah had a mishap of her own during a disastrous New Year's Eve performance, Lopez took a break from the high road and liked an extremely shady tweet about Mariah. The tweet said, quote, "Ever seen an accident you couldn't take your eyes away from? That was her tonight." If you're wondering where this feud started, it all goes back to Mariah's ex-husband and music executive, Tommy Mottola. After getting married in 1993, Carey divorced Mottola in 1998 because he was very controlling. And to get back at her, Mottola started up JLo's career and did everything possible to make JLo a star, instead of Mariah. JLo sampled a number of Mariah-esque songs. There were even allegations she straight up copied some of Mariah's songs, but tried to make them more of a hit. All because of Mottola. But Mariah knows she still came out on top, adding, quote, "After all that shit, Loverboy ended up being the best-selling single of 2001 in the United States." So basically the whole feud is over career competition and the fact that Lopez was in cahoots with Carey's controlling ex. Rosie Perez. You'd think that JLo and Rosie Perez would be great friends, considering how much they have in common. Both women are dancers, are Puerto Rican, and grew up in New York. But the pair are not close, and it would be more accurate to say that they actually hate each other. According to Perez's 2014 memoir, Handbook for an Unpredictable Life, she has plenty of negative stories to share about JLo. In her memoir, Perez shared a story from the set of In Living Color. She wrote about Lopez, quote, "All of the girls were coming into my office complaining how she was manipulating wardrobe, makeup, and me, all to her advantage," and added she was acting like, quote, "some ghetto bitch," screaming and pounding her chest. JLo ended up leaving that show after 2 seasons, but the feud between the pair continued, and Perez claimed that Lopez would speak negatively about her whenever she got the chance. Even worse, Lopez was allegedly two-faced. She would talk trash behind Perez's back, but be nice to her face. Brandy. In the midst of the Mariah and JLo feud, Brandy publicly supported Mariah, making it clear she does not like JLo. In July of 2017, Brandy took to Instagram to share a photo of herself hugging Mariah Carey with the caption, #SheKnows Me, an obvious reference to Mariah's infamous "I don't know her" comment about JLo. All the comments were flooded with people speculating over the caption, and the consensus quickly became that the photo was a dig at JLo. However, Brandy later addressed the caption, writing, quote, "Oh my god, what happened? I swear to goodness, I didn't know what the fuss is about. I love this pic and now everyone thinks I'm throwing shade. At who? This is funny. Can't take this one down. I love this picture and whenever I'm throwing shade, it's not questionable, you know that I am." Later adding that Mariah does in fact know her. Mariah supported the post by commenting, quote, "I sure do." Even though Brandy is trying to convince us it's nothing shady, I honestly don't believe it. Next up, Nicki Minaj. It's long been rumored that Jennifer Lopez is a huge diva, and the fight that her and Nicki Minaj had while on American Idol brought up both of their diva sides. In 2012, Lopez was a judge on American Idol while Nicki came on to perform, and things got tense fast. After Nicki finished performing, she went over to the judges table and asked, quote, "I was hoping maybe I could come back and be a guest judge. JLo, can you scoot over a little bit?" JLo then responded, quote, "I don't know if there's enough room for both of us." Then Minaj took it up another notch backstage when she said, quote, "She didn't seem to be having it, but she's gonna have it." But she later added, quote, "We were just joking around." But it's clear the bad blood is still there. When Lopez performed at the 2015 AMAs, she sang a part of Minaj's song Anaconda. But I don't think Nicki got the memo that it was going to be happening, because when the camera panned to Nicki, she did not look happy. Fans totally saw the shade and started tweeting about it that night. Rihanna and JLo started feuding right around the time that JLo was seen getting cozy with Rihanna's ex, Drake. This all happened in 2016 when JLo and Drake took a photo backstage at JLo's concert. Once the photos came out, everyone assumed that they were dating, which probably got the attention of his exes. A lot of fans felt the whole thing was most likely a publicity stunt, but Rihanna took the rumors pretty seriously and lashed out online because of it. A source said at the time that Rihanna suffered, quote, "the ultimate betrayal," and dubbed Lopez desperate and a traitor. This was because Rihanna and JLo were really tight at one point, and Rihanna even got support from JLo during rough times with Drake. Then in December of 2016, Rihanna unfollowed JLo on Instagram, making her stance very clear. Jenna Dewan. When the pair started alongside each other on World of Dance, they seemed like they got along great. Lopez was a producer and a judge, while Dewan was a host and mentor on the show. But sources revealed that when the camera stopped rolling, the women hated each other. One source said about their relationship, quote, "Jenna can't stand Jen's over-the-top theatrical fakery. Jen never fails to ham it up when the cameras are rolling, and she hijacks the show. It seems she'd prefer if Jenna just stayed in the background." The insider continued that JLo is a micromanager who tells everyone else what to do. Because of all her input, Jenna felt excluded and felt like her voice was not heard. Although there is a chance that this feud is not accurate, because when Dewan's team was asked about the feud rumors, they denied them. Ojani Noah. Jennifer Lopez has been married 3 times before. Her first and shortest marriage was to Cuban waiter Ojani Noah. Although their relationship ended in 1998, it's clear that Noah cannot stand her, and whenever asked about Lopez, he does not hold back his negative feelings. Back in 2006, he was actually set to release a juicy tell-all book about Lopez called The Unknown Truth, a passionate portrait of a serial thriller. But before it was set to be published, Lopez was able to stop it with a lawsuit. She argued that publishing the book broke their confidentiality agreement, and the courts agreed. From that lawsuit, she won $545,000 in damages, and Noah was forbid from criticizing or casting in a negative light or otherwise disparaging Lopez. Noah's name was brought up once again when he threatened to leak an intimate tape of the two of them on their honeymoon. Lopez then filed a $10 million lawsuit against him. When asked why the relationship ended, Noah blamed Lopez, saying, quote, "I was looking forward to being with her for the rest of my life. It didn't happen. She made the choice of her career instead of me." And finally, Jennifer Lopez herself. Nobody has done more to warn us about JLo's sketchy behavior than herself. And some of the things she's done in the past are too terrible to ignore. Back when she tried to score a role in competition with actress Claire Danes, JLo said some harsh things about her competition, saying that Claire Danes does the quote, "same thing with every character she does." Then Lopez bashed Winona Ryder, saying that she was not a big fan of her work. And finally, Lopez took aim at Gwyneth Paltrow, saying, quote, "Tell me what she's been in. I swear to God, I don't remember anything she was in. Some people get hot by association. I heard more about her and Brad Pitt than I ever heard about her work." Then in a different interview, Lopez decided to take aim at Madonna, specifically bashing Madonna's attempt at acting. Quote, "Do I think she's a great performer? Yeah. Do I think she's a great actress? No. Acting is what I do, so I'm harder on people when they say, oh, I can do that, I can act. I'm like, hey, don't spit on my craft." Aside from dishing out unnecessary shade to other celebrities, Lopez also has a reputation for being incredibly rude to service people. One United Airlines employee told the press how much of a diva she was during her flight. Apparently, he asked if she wanted a drink, and she replied, quote, "I just said, what can I get you to drink?" But Jennifer refused to even acknowledge me. She turned her head away and told her personal assistant, "Please tell him I'd like a Diet Coke and lime." Even though the stewardess was trying to serve her what she wanted, she refused to look, and made her assistant speak for her. It's so ridiculous and an unnecessary power play. But this interaction is nothing compared to the maid that was fired for asking JLo for an autograph. The maid later spoke with media and said she asked JLo's 2 assistants, who rejected the autograph. Then a day later, the hotel said that Lopez complained about the incident, and that maid was fired.
Jennifer Lopez has been going through a lot recently, so let's take a look at 10 more embarrassing moments that ruined her career. Now, starting off, we have her new album flopping. Now, in its first week, Jennifer Lopez's new album, This Is Me Now, debuted on the Billboard 200 at the number 38 spot before dropping off the chart altogether. Now, this was definitely not
what she was hoping for with this album. JLo's devastated the album, her first in nearly a decade, did so poorly. She's never experienced this kind of failure. It's humiliating, a source exclusively told In Touch. She poured her heart and soul into this project. It was a huge undertaking. Jennifer released the album in February as a sequel to her 2002 record This Is Me Then, which was written amid her and Ben Affleck's first engagement. Although the two eventually split in January 2004 and went on to marry other people, they reconciled nearly 20 years later in 2021. Ben proposed in March 2022 and the couple tied the knot that summer. Ben was her muse for both of these projects. Next is that she treats her employees badly. According to several of JLo's former staff members, Jennifer earned herself the nickname Pay-Lo because she paid her staff around 50% less than they could make elsewhere, which is crazy because her current net worth is $400 million. But because she had to work hard for her money, she believed that others should work hard too. Now, an incident related to this happened in 2003. Jennifer was spotted in Vegas with her then boyfriend Ben Affleck, and the pair had a big win, and Ben decided to drop a $2,000 tip to the dealer. But before the dealer could scoop up the generous reward, JLo snatched up the cash and swapped it for $200 instead, which is just rude and was not her call. Then she got a maid fired. In 2002, Jennifer starred in the romantic comedy Made in Manhattan. She went all over the world promoting the romantic comedy, and when she landed in London, she had people talking about her demands. When promoting the movie, she had a very interesting encounter with hotel staff, as she stayed at the Metropolitan Hotel and showed her early signs of being a diva. The hotel staff was amazed by her lavish and extravagant demands, as it was something they'd never seen before. Apparently, she requested the hotel staff to provide her with thousands of pounds of lemon-scented candles. Not to mention, she only travels in style when it's a short distance. She had 7 limousines escort her to lunch at the Dorchester, only 200 yards away. And then in 2012, it was reported that she had a maid fired from her job, although she repeatedly denies it. Jennifer was staying at the Melia Dusseldorf in Germany, and a maid working at the hotel Prey Doja approached the diva's room to get an autograph. Now, she spoke with JLo's assistant, who denied her, and the next morning Prey was fired. She said, "A day later, the cleaning company that employed me at the hotel called and said that Miss Lopez had complained. I was fired right there on the phone because of an autograph." Now, Jennifer and the hotel deny that she was fired for that specific reason, as JLo called the story hurtful, but who knows? Now we have her performance demands. In 2013, JLo was set to perform at the opening ceremony of the Indian Premier Cricket League. Now, the event is often compared to the Super Bowl and has quite a large audience. The year before, 56 million viewers tuned in to watch Katy Perry perform, and it was estimated that JLo would get an audience close to 60 million. However, her demands essentially cost her the event. She asked for a large number of hotel rooms for her massive entourage, which included her personal chef and stylist. Now, she also demanded a private plane, and in the end, organizers rejected her requests and instead brought in Pitbull to replace her, as it would cost them less money. Now, I'm sure she thought she was irreplaceable, but she wasn't. Now, you'd think she'd learn her lesson to not ask for so much after that encounter, but I'm sure she continued on with those demands. Speaking of, let's talk about the demands for American Idol. Listen up, everyone. JLo does not come at a cheap price. You want her as an American Idol judge, then you have to pay her $20 million, and that's per season. Yep. It turns out that the pay for sitting in a chair and judging people isn't all that bad, as in 2011, JLo was paid approximately $12 million to replace Simon Cowell on American Idol. Time reports that JLo's American Idol salaries have ranged from $12 to $20 million. While Jen's presence has been credited for rejuvenating the show, the price tag remains shocking. And now that Katy Perry has left the show, there is rumors about JLo replacing her, but again, that will come at a huge price. Then there's her canceled tour. On May 31st, it was announced that Jennifer's This Is Me Live summer tour was cancelled. Live Nation confirmed the cancellation to the Associated Press, stating Jennifer is taking time off to be with her children, family, and close friends. In addition, Jennifer released a statement of her own on her On the JLo website, explaining the reason behind the cancellation. She wrote, "I'm completely heartsick and devastated about letting you down. Please know that I wouldn't do this if I didn't feel it was absolutely necessary." She added, "I promise I'll make it up to you and we will all be together again. I love you all so much. Until next time." The This Is Me Live tour would have been Jennifer's first in 5 years. It was going to be in support of her first solo album in 10 years, This Is Me Now, and its companion film. Now, rumor has it that poor ticket sales and an impending breakup with her husband of 2 years, Ben Affleck, might have contributed to the tour's cancellation, and this would explain why she needed to spend time with her loved ones. Moving on to lying about plastic surgery. Jennifer has been accused of getting plastic surgery many times, but each time she denies it. In 2013, when a UK-based plastic surgeon analyzed pictures of her on Twitter, he claimed that they showed signs of cosmetic work, and she hit back adding him, saying, "Sorry sir, but I've never had plastic surgery of any kind, #fact," she tweeted. Then on January 15th, 2021, Jennifer posted a video on her Instagram revealing the results of that Limitless Glow sheet mask from her new beauty line. A fan took to the comments to accuse the singer-actress of achieving her ageless look with something more than a mask, saying, "You definitely had Botox and tons of it, and it's all good, just saying." Now Jennifer commented back and said, "LOL, that's just my face. For the 500 millionth time, I've never done Botox or any other injectables or surgery. Just saying, get yourself some JLo beauty and feel beautiful in your skin." And here's another JLo beauty secret: try spending your time being more positive, kind, and uplifting to others. Don't spend your time trying to bring others down. That will keep you youthful and beautiful too. Now we have the self-financed movie. Now after her album, This Is Me Now, Jennifer created her own movie based on the album called This Is Me Now, A Love Story. According to a Variety interview, the album, film, and accompanying documentary cost $20 million in total to produce. Now once it was done, Amazon then purchased the project. "We went in over budget. It was a challenging project in that way. It's like there could have never been enough money for the project," she told The Hollywood Reporter. "We didn't have endless funds from a studio. This was a very independent project that I was self-financing, so it was very challenging periodically. Everyone thought I was crazy when I said I would self-fund the film. We did have financing and then that fell out," she revealed. "They pulled out at the last minute, and then it was that moment where you go, okay, do we just make a video or do we go ahead and do this thing?" Now she went ahead with it, but it wasn't really the best idea. Next we have her Mariah feud. The Jennifer-Mariah feud has played out since the early 2000s, and it all began with 4 little words Mariah Carey once uttered to a German reporter: "I don't know her." Now both stars have repeatedly been asked about the comment, and they can't seem to decide whether they like each other or not. When Andy Cohen brought up the feud on his show Watch What Happens Live in 2014, Jennifer played the whole thing off, saying, "I don't have a feud against her at all. I know from back in the day I've read things that she said about me that were not the greatest, but we have never met. Like, we don't know each other." She added, "I would love to meet her and I would love to be friends with her." However, during a 2016 appearance on The Wendy Williams Show, JLo had other thoughts. "Mariah does say that. She's forgetful, I guess," she slammed. "We've met many times." Now that same year, Mariah spoke to Andy Cohen about the feud and stood her ground, reiterating, "I don't know her, what am I supposed to say?" Then, following Mariah's disastrous New Year's Eve performance that December, Jennifer found an opportunity to throw shade. When an Instagram user posted about the train wreck show, writing, "Ever seen an accident you couldn't take your eyes away from? That was her tonight." JLo liked the post. Then, when Mariah published her memoir, The Meaning of Mariah Carey, in September 2020, she not only revealed the root of her feud with JLo, but she also made sure to throw shade at her. In the book, Mariah slams her ex-husband, Tommy Mottola, the then chairman and CEO of Sony Music Entertainment, accusing him of trying to ruin her career and getting Jennifer Lopez involved. And finally, we have her lying about products. In December 2020, Jennifer made headlines when she insisted that the secret to her flawless complexion is olive oil. The star spoke out ahead of the launch of her JLo Beauty skincare range. Speaking to Page 6 at the time, Jennifer said of olive oil, "It's a secret I've used all over the years because it really does work." She wanted to encourage people to also be vigilant with sunscreen, explaining, "One of the big things I would encourage everybody to do from the time they're 15 years old, even younger, is wear sunscreen every day." But an eagle-eyed fan may have spotted one more way that Jennifer maintains her super smooth and glowing skin in videos and photos: filters. TikTok user @NeedTheDeets exposed the trick when they uploaded a clip from one of Jennifer's social media posts from February 2023, which highlighted the moment an apparent filter glitched. "Wait for the filter to fall off to see JLo's real skin texture," they captioned the video. Now in the footage, Jennifer looks absolutely flawless as she talks about going to the gym, but sure enough, at one point she leans closer to the camera and her skin looks much more relatable. Jen quickly readjusts herself, making the glitch a blink and you'll miss it moment, but viewers still found the filter slip up hilarious. The way she jumps back when she realizes, one person commented. Another observed, "I love how the filter deactivated on telling. Filter literally snitched on cue." Now in fact, Jen looked so good that people shared their sadness that she even felt the need to alter her appearance online. And others argued that it isn't appropriate for Jen to digitally enhance her skin when she sells skincare products. Now regardless, if you're gonna use filters, just make sure they work properly.
JLo's recent documentary showcased the intimate details of her star-studded life, but various celebs have shared a different view of the star over the years. Here are the top 10 celebrities who caught Jennifer Lopez stealing. Usher was left out of an important decision once, and it led to some legal troubles for JLo. The song in question here is Get Right. Get Right was written by Usher and producer Rich Harrison for Confessions. The album was released by Usher in 2004. The song was originally called Ride. The thing was, it wasn't good enough for the album, or something went wrong. Either way, it didn't make the cut, and vault tracks weren't common yet, so the song sat there until JLo was interested. Harrison decided to give the track to JLo, presumably without checking with Usher first if his reaction is anything to go off of. Usher claimed he didn't sign off on the decision and was quick to demand publishing rights. Obviously, the song made it out on JLo's side as it was released and is now considered a fan favorite. Shawnette Harrell sang the chorus to popular JLo song If You Had My Love, but was credited as just a background singer. Having others lend vocals to songs is super common in Hollywood. In recent years, it's more common that people will sing the majority of their song, and other voices will truly be background vocals. It seems in this case, Harrell might not have been credited properly if she really did sing the chorus and JLo was just lip syncing along. Likely though, JLo did put some vocals in there, mixed in with Harrell handling the brunt of it. As for crediting the person as a background singer, the vocals were mixed in a way that the background vocals typically were, plus there is no way to actually know if JLo was the one to sign off on that. Christina Milian is now a singer and actress. You might recognize her from the Netflix movie Falling in Love, the Kim Possible theme song, or the JLo song Play. Christina co-wrote the song and did record some vocals for it, vocals that can be heard on JLo's version of the track. But as we know now, that did not happen. But JLo did kind of steal her work. Not really, because she would have had to get permission, but you know what I mean. People thought maybe Christina felt negatively towards JLo. It turns out that is very much not the case. In an interview with Page 6, Christina got to clear up any rumors swirling around the internet. She said there is nothing malicious between her and JLo. She talked quite highly of the singer, and even explaining that she was okay not being fully credited for the track, saying hands down she killed it. She's so good, I love that song, I'm on the credits for whatever nature, as a writer and for singing backgrounds. There is credit for that. I'm also just so happy that she did it because she's an icon, she's amazing. It's funny when people talk about this being kind of a thing about me singing on the song with Jennifer. I mean, I have background singers on some of my songs. It's no different than Michael Jackson having background singers on songs or Britney Spears. This is what music is made of. You want a blend of voices, it makes songs better to me. She even clarified why the song went to JLo, explaining that she liked another party song she had written more, AM to PM, and figured that only one would make the album, so she passed on Play. JLo caught it and recorded it, doing some rewrites with Christina, and then it was off and hitting the charts. Ironically, it could be argued JLo's song, I'm Real, is not very real at all. Ashanti is the real deal here, at least when it comes to the chorus, and ad-libs, and the writing of the song. Allegedly, the song I'm Real by Jennifer Lopez was written by Ashanti. She sung the demo that was given to JLo. Usually artists, when they get demos, they just use it to see what the song will sound like. Then they re-record the song because it's their song now and they want their vocals. At least that's what one might think. In this case, and a few more cases that we've looked at and will look at, it looks like JLo did not re-record anything, just kept the demo vocals and the ad-libs. Ashanti received credit for background vocals, but the co-writing credit was nowhere to be found. So while JLo likely got permission from either the performer or the company, it wasn't a good look in the eyes of the public. To make the entire situation worse, JLo, who is Puerto Rican, used the N-word on the track. That was met with the appropriate response and callouts. I'm Real was so successful that Ashanti did right for JLo again, so there must not have been too much bad blood between the women. She came back to write Ain't It Funny, also adding some ad-lib vocals into this song. She did get to appear in the music video for this one. It's hard to imagine any JLo song being more popular than Jenny from the Block, but for a brief moment, all I have was the moment. While most of the song was JLo's vocals, part of the chorus was sampled from Deborah Law's song Very Special. Very Special came out in 1981 and JLo's song in 2002, so quite a bit of time between the two. Sony did get permission to use the sample, however, no one told the original singer, Deborah Law, so she took JLo to court. The case was dismissed, she tried again, and it was dismissed again. Specifically, she went to court over the sample, but that doesn't mean it was Law's vocals on the JLo track. The part of the chorus that wasn't JLo was a woman named Makeba Riddick. Riddick was with Rock Nation at the time. Makeba does have a connection to another famous track, Love the Way You Lie, featuring Rihanna. She produced Rihanna's vocals. This one is mainly a fan rumor and speculation. Kunela Cox was a background singer on Jennifer Lopez's tours and was possibly a vocalist on her hit song Love Don't Cost a Thing. Love Don't Cost a Thing is one of JLo's biggest hits, so it makes sense it would eventually be examined with a magnifying glass, or I guess just a good ear to pick apart to see if JLo is singing. Some fans would argue that in parts of the song, she isn't, that instead of JLo's vocals being heard, it's actually Cox. Cox is not that big of an artist, unfortunately, though she is very talented. She released some of her own music and albums back in the early 2000s, but they didn't do very well. A leaked demo caused people to listen to Lopez's signature track, Jenny from the Block, a little more closely, as it was rumored that JLo didn't even sing part of her most popular tune, and that some vocals actually belonged to Natasha Ramos. Of all the people on this list, Natasha is probably one of the most outspoken. She has used her multiple social media accounts to prove her involvement with the hit song. Using her X account, she tweets out her demo for the song, telling people to compare for yourselves. However, that was mainly in response to people saying she was lying about ever being involved with the track. Back in 2019, she tweeted a short summary of her involvement, writing, "I just want to clarify something. JLo did indeed go into the studio and lay down some background vocals over mine. So I wouldn't say she's so much lip syncing, however the backgrounds are predominantly me, some ad-libs and laughs as well." So that is nice to get cleared up. JLo is technically still singing her biggest song, just with a little more help than we may have thought. Social media star Samantha Barbash was the inspiration behind the critically acclaimed film Hustlers, produced and starring Jennifer Lopez. Samantha, however, does not appreciate the film and actually sued JLo and her company for defamation. Samantha shared her perspective on the situation in an interview with TMZ. She said, "They basically stole my story. I wouldn't sign my rights away. I wasn't giving away my film and TV rights for peanuts. JLo doesn't work for free, why would I?" Further claiming that 87% of the film made was wrong. Samantha's case was ultimately dismissed. Brandy might have been the one mad at JLo for taking her song, but she has also now accidentally, maybe purposely, roped herself into the feud between Mariah Carey and JLo. Let's start with the Brandy drama. Brandy wrote a song called Ride or Die for her album Aphrodisiac. The problem was there was a bunch of delays with the album, and for some reason those delays meant that Brandy no longer had the song and it went to JLo for her Rebirth album. Ride or Die did still keep quite a few Brandy vocals though, which I can only imagine added fuel to the feud fire. How did Brandy get into the decades-long feud with Mariah and J-Lo though? Well, she posted a picture with Carrie in 2017 and captioned it #SheKnowsMe, to which Carrie confirmed in the comments, "I sure do." This exchange might mean nothing to the average person, but to J-Lo fans this was a declaration of war. See, back in the early 2000s when J-Lo was starting to become a major name and Mariah Carey was releasing hits left and right, Carrie was on a red carpet and the topic moved to Lopez, to which Carrie replied with, "I don't know her." Such a simple sentence, and yet it ignited decades-long feuds, so that's what J-Lo fans believe Brandy was referencing with her hashtag caption. But that one little comment on Carrie's part could not have possibly been the thing to ignite the feud. Maybe the straw that broke the camel's back, but it certainly wasn't the first thing to happen between the pair. The first big step was probably, if you look at it from Mariah Carey's perspective, when J-Lo stole a never-before sampled song from her ahead of her album release. That was pretty bad. The song that had never been sampled before was Firecracker by Yellow Magic Orchestra. Mariah wanted it for her upcoming song Loverboy, so she of course applied for a license. The only thing was her ex-husband must have hated her because he also applied for the same song, and unfortunately for Carrie, beat her out. So J-Lo's track, I'm Real, got the sample, and it also featured vocals from another singer named Shailene Thomas. Presumably this fiasco is what sparked the flames of the feud.
Number 10. Mariah Carey. This celebrity feud is legendary, so it's only fair that we start off with this one. J-Lo and Mariah Carey have been at each other's throats since the early 2000s. In fact, most people remember the iconic line that Mariah told a German reporter, "I don't know her." Although it sounds hilarious, Mariah has maintained her negative opinion of J-Lo all these years. For example, an interviewer once asked her what she thought about Beyonce and Jennifer Lopez, and she responded by saying that they don't even belong in the same category for a very specific reason. Well, it's hard. You can't really put those two people in the same category because one is in a really different generation. They just started singing later. But when you talk about Beyonce, I think she's wonderful, she's great, she's a talented person. But it seemed that she forgot to compliment J-Lo as well. A few years later, Carey spoke to Andy Cohen and doubled down on her comments. Quote, "I don't know her, what am I supposed to say?" It looks like it'll take a miracle for these two iconic performers to ever be on good terms. Number 9. Rihanna. There are several celebrities who can't stand Jennifer Lopez, but one of the biggest critics of the iconic singer is Rihanna. These two former best friends had a serious falling out in 2016 for the oldest reason in the book. They were fighting over the same guy. Before the feud began, Rihanna and J-Lo were friendly to each other and had no reason for animosity. But trouble started brewing right after Rihanna and Drake broke up. They had a summer fling that same year, which was pretty casual, but it definitely still counted. Girl code was broken when J-Lo started getting close with Drake almost immediately after. But the feud really became public when Jennifer posted a photo of her and Drake hanging out backstage at her show in Las Vegas with the caption #LoveHim. In fact, the two were even spotted hugging, and fans quickly realized that something very shady was happening. An inside source close to the star said that Riri felt like she had suffered the ultimate betrayal and called Jennifer's behavior desperate. It must have been accurate because in December of 2016 she suddenly unfollowed Lopez on Instagram. Number 8. Gloria Estefan. Cuban-American superstar Gloria Estefan was originally supposed to be performing at the 2020 Super Bowl alongside fellow Latina pop stars J-Lo and Shakira, but after seeing J-Lo's new documentary called Halftime, where the singer went on a rant about having to share the stage with Shakira, Gloria put her comments on blast. She didn't seem to agree that it was the worst idea ever to have the artist share the stage, and explained why Lopez got it wrong on Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen. Quote, "Look, this is the bottom line. You have very little time, like 12 minutes or something, to get things on and off the set. So could you do it with one person? Yes. But I think they wanted to throw a Miami and Latin extravaganza, and they tried to pack it in as much as possible." The Grammy Award winner also confirmed that she chose not to participate for a reason, seeing as J-Lo got so worked up about having two people perform. Quote, "Okay, and imagine what J-Lo would have said if I was the third. I literally would come out, done a shake your booty and out. But she went on to insist that it was their moment and that she didn't want to go on a diet in December anyway. Number 7. Nick Cannon. The Wild 'N Out star took a cue from his ex-wife Mariah Carey's famous phrase to throw shade at Jennifer Lopez during his guest appearance on The Wendy Williams Show. While discussing Hollywood crushes during the Hot Topic segment, the 41-year-old first named Carey, his ex-wife and mother to their 2 twins, Moroccan and Monroe. Quote, "Number 1, Mariah, the amazing mother, superstar, singer." He then went on to name Halle Berry and Naomi Campbell as his second and third choices. A producer then suggested J-Lo as an option and he just responded with, "I don't know her." After the audience erupted into laughter, the host added, "That was a joke for the lambs. Shout out to the lambs," as Carey refers to her fans as the Lamely. Cannon made it clear who he supports in the ongoing battle of the divas, and naturally he sided with Carey, so we can't really fault him for that. It's been a bit of a running joke for years that Mariah wasn't kidding and didn't actually know J-Lo personally when she gave that interview, but it was too late to clear the air, as the classic "I don't know her" line has gone down in history as one of the best ways to shade someone. Number 6. Rosie Perez. Both Jennifer Lopez and Rosie Perez have served as inspirations to the Latin community for over 2 decades, but they haven't always gotten along. They met back in 1991 during an open casting call for In Living Color. At the time, Perez was the show's choreographer, and Lopez was auditioning to become a member of the dance troupe known as the Fly Girls. Her audition was unsuccessful, but Perez saw a star quality in J-Lo and actually pulled some strings to get her in. But after she was in the group, it became clear that Lopez didn't get along with her fellow dancers. According to Perez, she was labeled as a diva right away. "All of the girls were coming into my office and complaining how she was manipulating wardrobe, makeup, and me, all to her advantage." Perez said that at first she didn't believe it, but then J-Lo screamed at her saying, "I know I'm good, I'm better than any of these girls and you know it." What's worse is, after J-Lo left the show and made it big in the music industry, she went on talk shows trashing her former choreographer. Perez also implied that J-Lo ghosted her. Quote, "I called her up, she wouldn't pick up. Frustrated, I left her an irate message on her answering machine. Instead of calling me back and hashing it out like friends do, she went on a major talk show and reiterated my lashing." Number 5. Brandy. Brandy has had a public feud with Jennifer Lopez since 2017, and according to Kiwi Report, she made it clear that she supports Mariah Carey going against J-Lo too. Basically, she posted a photo of herself on Instagram hugging Carey with the hashtag #SheKnowsMe. The caption was super perfect and a great reference to that famous "I don't know her" comment. So the whole thing tells us that Brandy is totally teaming with Mariah. Brandy's post exploded on social media and Lopez fans immediately took offense to it. Mariah saw the backlash and chimed in to Brandy's photo, commenting with a simple "I sure do." But the singer was quick to defend herself from hate comments and edited the caption shortly after posting it with, quote, "Oh my god, what happened? I swear to goodness, I don't know what the fuss is about. I love this pic and now everyone thinks I'm throwing shade. At who? This is funny, can't take this one down. I love this picture and whenever I'm throwing shade, it's not questionable. You know that I am." She totally doubled down on dissing Jennifer and siding with Mariah, adding, quote, "Also, I've met her several times. Like the several seats that should be taken, she does know me." Number 4. Nicki Minaj. These two have allegedly been feuding since 2012. It all started when Nicki was performing on one particular episode of American Idol at the same time that J-Lo was sitting on the judge panel. In a rather awkward moment, Nicki asked if she could come back on the show as a guest judge and asked J-Lo to scoot over. As a Latina artist hit back, she said, "I don't know if there's room for both of us." It was one of those joking moments that seemed like there was something else behind it, but nevertheless the two seemed to be just joking around. Even though Nicki told a reporter backstage, quote, "She didn't seem to be having it, but she's gonna have it." Okay, so now we're jumping to 2015 when fans swear that Nicki shaded J-Lo for performing her song at the American Music Awards. As she was performing a small part of Anaconda, the camera cut to Nicki in the audience looking less than happy with the rendition. The clip showed her emotionless face and made it seem like she didn't approve of the way her song was being used. Number 3. Ryan Seacrest. This incident gives Ryan every reason to hate J-Lo because it's pretty bad. Ryan Seacrest worked alongside the singer on American Idol, and the two quickly became friends. But all that seemingly changed when the talk show host revealed that he flew down to Miami to celebrate her milestone 50th birthday, only to be denied entry at the door. Ouch. He recalled the whole story on Live with Kelly and Ryan and explained that he flew down from New York for only a few hours because he had to make it back in time for the next morning's show. But when he finally arrived, the doorman told him, "You're not on the list," to which he responded, "Clearly, there's a mistake. She invited me personally." But upon being denied, he checked the list and couldn't find his name. The doorman just asked him to wait, made a quick call, and was able to confirm that Seacrest was indeed on the guest list. But the host went on to say that he was the first person there and no one really got turned up until after he left. It would have certainly been a little embarrassing, to say the least. Number 2. Cameron Diaz. Throughout the years, Jennifer Lopez has been known to speak negatively about her fellow actors, and it looks like it may have come back to bite her. During an interview in the late 90s, JLo explained that Cameron Diaz was just a lucky model who was given opportunities. She did mention that Diaz can be good when directed, but Lopez's past comments about Cameron's career allegedly made things super awkward between them when they both had to buckle down and work together in the 2012 comedy What to Expect When You're Expecting. Several anonymous sources on the set of the film claimed that the two stars did not get along at all during the shoot. In fact, it was reported that Cameron said the singer was a nightmare to work with. Quote, "She even said that Jen should stick to her day job, meaning American Idol and singing." According to The Insider, JLo demanded to eat at specific times, no matter what, and stops working when it suits her, and she had her assistant run over to her with food. This is what allegedly drove Cameron crazy. Another source claimed that the co-stars actively avoided one another while filming, and tensions were thick. Number 1. Ojani Noah. The former couple were married on February 22nd, 1997, and got divorced barely 1 year later, in January of 1998. It was so long ago that you would think Ojani has moved on from the relationship, but apparently he's still holding on to a bit of resentment. In fact, Jennifer's former flame was out to make a buck off their brief marriage by trying to expose revealing videos from their honeymoon. Ojani was even hauled into court after he started planning a tell-all movie based on the revealing home footage called How I Married Jennifer Lopez, the JLo and Ojani Noah story. The result? Well, she sued him for a whopping $10 million and demanded a permanent court order blocking her ex from making any videos public. Ojani also threatened to write a tell-all book unless he was paid $5 million by the singer. His unpublished book alleges that JLo had multiple affairs, including one with Mark Anthony, during the 11 months that they were married. But a judge was not having it and awarded her $545,000 in damages and quashed the book, ruling that it violated a 2004 deal not to publish details of their relationship. Her team calls the movie an outrageous attempt to make money and received substantial compensation. So it's clear that he's still a little bit bitter. Well, that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.
Are Bennifer on the rocks again? Looking over the recent news that's come out about the couple, I feel like Ben might be getting cold feet. But don't just take my word for it. Take the mountain of evidence I found. So for starters, JLo is pressuring him to do things. Now, sure, to a lot of folks it might be clear that JLo and Ben Affleck are blended family goals with their ex-spouses. They ensure their 5 children feel close and safe with everyone in their large family, and it seems like they're kind of antsy about welcoming another member into the family. Yeah, reportedly, they want another child together. Now, while JLo has repeated the sentiment for quite some time, soon after she and Ben got back together, insiders claimed that she's got baby fever, and she's talking about it non-stop. A source recently told Life and Style via Yahoo that she's been trying to convince Ben to welcome another baby via surrogacy, and recently she finally got him to cave in. Apparently, according to our source, she nagged him until he went along with it. Ben was completely happy with the blended family they already have, but he loves kids. That's why he agreed to having another. At the end of the day, he wants Jennifer to be happy. Ooh, that doesn't sound like a healthy situation. A baby isn't just an accessory, it's a commitment, and definitely not something you should be nagged into doing. Also, he wants a more low-key life. Like, all in all, Ben Affleck tends to be a more low-key person compared to JLo, minus them both working in the public eye. So, JLo recently launched her new album, This Is Me, Now, with a self-financed $20 million multimedia campaign. Then she made the experimental film, This Is Me Now, A Love Story.
We get it. This was about the rekindling of her romance with Ben. And then there was the Amazon Prime documentary, The Greatest Love Story Never Told, about, yep, the making of the record and the film. So when Ben pops up in the documentary, it's often to express concern that his private love story is becoming used for something he didn't particularly want. So this entire thing is actually named after a scrapbook that he gifted Jennifer for Christmas in 2021, stacked with every letter and email they'd written to each other over the last 20 years, which is something that should probably be private. Jennifer showed the book to her producers and songwriters on the first day of making her new album without asking or telling Ben. She's like, it kind of became like our Bible. We just left it there in the studio. Which, this revelation comes out within the first 5 minutes of the documentary, and right out the gate, Ben isn't shy about his discomfort. He's absolutely shocked that Jennifer would share something so personal with her collaborators, and now of course with the world. I get it, art comes from making something personal, but when you're making someone intentionally uncomfortable with your art and kind of violating consent, that's not a good move. Now yes, if you look back at the history, J-Lo's relationships have always been in the spotlight. She's been in more than several high-profile relationships that have made headlines all over the world, so Ben should have known what he was getting back into. For example, from 2004 to 2011, she was married to Mark Anthony. They had twins, and then in 2017, she made headlines again when she was dating former New York Yankee Alex Rodriguez. Now, rumors spread that she was only going to consider marrying him if he agreed to the, crazy list of demands. Reportedly, he wasn't allowed to talk to any woman under the age of 40, which is super controlling. Gross. Also, J-Lo loved his physique and wanted a guarantee that he wouldn't let himself go once they got married. Now, sure, none of these rumors have been confirmed, but it's just a little extreme. Now, yes, we know Jen and A-Rod didn't work out because she's now married to Ben, but I'm wondering, what did he have to agree to make her happy? We already know she nagged him into possible surrogacy. What else? J-Lo at the end of the day has a reputation of being a bit of a diva. Okay, a big diva. Whereas I don't think I've ever heard about Ben making crazy demands for press tours or similar situations. Once upon a time, J-Lo had somebody fired for being a fan. So there was this maid who happened to be cleaning her room in Germany during her 2012 world tour. And as a big fan of J-Lo, she tried to ask the star for an autograph, only to have not one, but two of J-Lo's assistants stop her. And soon after, she was out of a job, and she knew why. Literally a day later, the cleaning company that employed her at the hotel called and said that J-Lo complained, and she was fired over the phone because of asking for an autograph. Now, look, I get it, it's not the most professional thing in the world, but don't get somebody fired over it. Now, on the flip side, J-Lo herself denied the claims with one single tweet, saying, "Come on, thought you knew me better than this. Would never get anyone fired over an autograph. First I heard about this was on Twitter." Okay, sure, there's plenty of speculation there, but let's try something else. An old interview from J-Lo herself resurfaced recently, and she wasn't speaking too well about her fellow colleagues in the industry. So this is what she had to say about two major stars at the time. Gwyneth Paltrow, she was like, "Tell me what she's been in. I swear to God, I don't remember anything she was in. Some people get hot by association. I heard more about her and Brad Pitt than I ever heard about her work." She also had stuff to say about Madonna. Do I think she's a great performer? Yeah. Do I think she's a great actress? No. Acting is what I do, so I'm harder on people when they say, "Oh, I can do that. I can act." And I'm like, hey, don't spit on my craft. The funny thing is that this is what Jennifer said after only having Selena and Anaconda under her belt for her career. So that's kind of embarrassing, and I'm glad people are calling her out for this behavior. Now, if we want to talk more about close circle stuff, according to several of J-Lo's former staff members, she earned herself the nickname Paylo because she paid her staff around 50% less than they can make elsewhere. Now, this rumor's been going on for years. Let's go way back to 2003. So, yes, you guessed it, back when she was first with Ben Affleck. They were spotted in Vegas together. They had a big win, and Ben decided to drop a $2,000 tip to the dealer. But before he could, tip the generous reward, J-Lo snatched up the cash and swapped it for $200. So, does J-Lo have a reason for paying her staff so little? She's like, I had to work hard to earn my money. So should everybody else. Yeah, that's embarrassing for her. If she had to work hard to earn her money, shouldn't she try to make it easier for others since she knows how hard it is? She just seems so entitled, and that's just gross. Don't worry, we got more. Let's go back 1 year from that. 2002. She's starring in the romantic comedy Made in Manhattan. She's traveling all over the world promoting this romantic comedy. It's amazing, it's great, it's wonderful. And when she landed in London, she had people talking non-stop about her demands. But promoting the movie, she had a very interesting encounter with hotel staff. So she stayed at the Metropolitan Hotel, and that's where we started seeing the signs of her being a major diva. The hotel staff was kind of astounded by her lavish and extravagant demands because it reached new levels for them. Apparently, she requested that the hotel staff had to provide her with thousands of pounds of lemon-scented candles. Also, she needed limousines to escort her only 200 yards away because couldn't do anything, had to travel in style, can't walk on the sidewalk. Let's go back more to, Sort of present day. In 2012, reports surfaced that Jenny from the block demanded staff working for her don't make eye contact with me, don't talk to me. While having work done on her San Fernando Valley home, she demanded that none of the helpers, drivers, or contractors have any interactions with her. Yes, I know, these rumors were never confirmed, but still. And reportedly when flying first class, yeah, don't bother her. Not even if you're a flight attendant. One time, a flight attendant offered her a drink, because that's her job, and she refused to acknowledge him. She said to her assistant, please tell him I'd like a Diet Coke and lime. Once again, I know, these rumors have not been confirmed, but like, when the evidence is piling up, you really gotta think about it. Seems like she doesn't appreciate the help she gets. So, on-again, off-again relationships have a bit of a bad track record. Yes, I know, the Bennifer reunion was the big headline of 2021, and now, yes, they're a happily settled married couple. It only took them 20 years and 2 engagements to get there. For talking history speaking, their first round began in 2002. That's when they started in rom-com together. Twas cute. Ben proposed, but then they broke things off in 2004. Since then, they went on, they married other people, they had kids, they got divorced, and then they dated other people again, and then, well, you know, a month after she ended things with A-Rod, welcome back. I think this is May of 2021. They got married in summer 2022, and while this is cute and all, once again, on-again and off-again relationships have a bad track record. What's to stop this couple from calling it off again? Especially when you look at everything else we've talked about today. And finally, look, I know, I've already mentioned the documentary today, the This Is Me Now, the love story, but some fans who watched it afterwards had to take to social media to call out Jen for her lies. Yeah, now we're not saying the love story is fake. That's true. But in one scene, J-Lo poses in the mirror of her personal gym as she shakes out her hair and reminisces about her childhood in the Bronx. She said, I like taking my hair out like this. It reminds me like when I was 16 in the Bronx, running up and down the block, crazy little girl who used to be effing wild and no limits, all dreams. However, TikTok user Photos by Angela slammed the star in a series of videos as she claimed to have gone to the same Catholic high school as J-Lo and accused her of lying about her experience living in the Bronx. She said, we both attended an all-girls high school in an Irish and Italian neighborhood, so you weren't running up and down the block. And this isn't the only lie. J-Lo has long been accused of not actually singing on her albums, and singer Natasha Ramos actually took to TikTok to shed light on the rumor. Now Natasha, who has a voice very similar to J-Lo's, was hired to sing the demo of Jenny from the Block, and the production team liked her voice so much that they asked her to record 5 more songs for the album. This Is Me Then? Yeah, what do you know? Natasha received $3,500 and a backup singer's credit. But as she claimed, and as the original demo demonstrates, it is her voice that appears in the final track. And not only in the choruses, it's also her laugh and her yelling, from the Bronx. Lopez only sings in the verse. So when you add up all these lies, I can see why Ben might be having some second thoughts. And that's it for me once again, folks. What fact from today might have shocked y'all? Do you think they're gonna call it quits soon?